front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, a podcast where we talk comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, Boingo Ryder, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
representing the distinguished competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
You blew out a dirty bud, didn't you?
Well, I knocked it out. It's still working. I can still hear you mostly. Come in. 1-2, breaker.
Fuck.
Hey, there we go. Also, this video is not monetizable now.
Hey, no. Our intro lasted long enough, it should count.
Yeah, take that, Susan, or whatever the new guy's name is. I still haven't memorized it.
Take that, advertisers.
We're still gonna get that sick
nothing,
like 0.3 cents we could make off of this.
How's everyone doing? How are you doing? How am I doing?
I'm okay. I'm enjoying this fine down tempo bank holiday weekend we're enjoying here in the United States of fuck.
Oh, yeah. You're tired but happy?
That's generally the Buster vibe I find.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what else we could fucking go on about before we start actually talking about the things we normally talk about in this show. Look, it's a logo.
Oh my god. It's the podcast, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about some shit.
We're talking about this man.
Oh, it's him. It's my favorite character, fucking Jarvis. It's Jarvis, everybody. The MCU is the only Marvel continuity that matters.
I hate that is something that real people probably think. And I'm gonna fight them, and I know at least one other person will fight them with me.
You talking about B?
I was talking about the person who plays Miss Marvel. But yeah, no, B-Mass would.
Yeah.
B-Mass
so you got a little disparate friend group of people who don't actually know you developing. Good for you, buddy. I'm glad you're making friends outside of Modular, the Marvel Cox universe. Yes! I need that! Chip, fucking write it right now! Make it happen!
No. Chip wouldn't write that. That would be, who's writing Amazing Spider-Man right now?
Wells?
Yeah, Wells. He writes cucks.
Yeah. Or Mark Millar might enjoy that. He might get off on cucking superheroes like that.
Y'all thought it was gonna be a peaceful stream, but nope, I'm here. You thought it was gonna be a peaceful stream, but it was me. Dio.
We always enjoy the chaos vibe. As is evident by this episode, I really like this one, actually. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Hero, Season 2, Episode 14, Behold, the Vision, was really good. I hadn't seen this one before, and I really enjoyed it.
It's a great, it is the classic origin story for the Vision.
And see, I'm not too familiar with that. I mean, obviously, I've read Tom King's Vision, and I've seen a lot of Vision showing up in other things. I know him from the MCU, but I only kind of know his origin story from the comics in that I've heard people mention it before. So seeing it in this cartoon perspective for the first time was quite entertaining, I found, especially because he's essentially just the Terminator.
Oh, yeah. He is just, what if... they're playing him very much for the Terminator here, because he's just big, strong. All right, this isn't where I need to be. Fuck you. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just out to get what Ultron sent him to get, and anybody that gets in his way, he's just gonna fucking obliterate them. And it's an uphill battle just to slow him down.
Because, I mean, Vision is one of the more powerful Avengers.
Though the fact that he's played that way in this episode did kind of call into question the fact that Ultron fought to dress him in a superhero outfit.
I mean,
Like he's just a ruthless killing machine sent to get some MacGuffins, and he's out here looking like a circus strongman. And
I
I kind
mean,
of love that.
I mean, if you okay, here's the thing: if everybody's playing baseball, you're not going to be out here trying to play football.
That's true. That's true. He's not wearing hockey pads.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
uh,
Real quick, give us your best Bale Batman.
the clean slate, the ultimate tool for a master thief with a past.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And that was your Bale Batman voice impression segment of the evening.
Welcome to 2008, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed your stay. There's going to be some water to your left and some Lunchables to your right. Welcome to the chat, Tim.
I wonder if our application to Funny or Die is going to go through. Oh God, we're off the rails.
You say Funny or Die. I'm trying to get into College Humor.
Well, I mean, College Humor is still around. That's why I said Funny or Die.
Oh, yeah. I actually haven't seen anything from College Humor in like the last 6 or 7 years.
There's a lot of good stuff from Dropout.
Oh, cool.
If you like improv-y, game showy kind of content, they have a lot of good ones. My favorite is Game Changers, where every episode the game show is different, and the players have to figure out what the rules are.
Anyways, Hawkeye goes full ignorant white man in this episode, and that was amazing.
Ignorant white boy with a point, though.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, yo, I could be king. It's like, hey, yo, I'm trying to call you out on your bullshit.
Yeah, he's like he's like, I'm gonna fucking use your sacred tradition that you don't even use anymore. It's purely just a ceremonial thing as a way to prove a point about how you need to back up your friends, T'Challa. Bros before hoes, man. Come on.
And T'Challa's just like, look, white boy.
Yeah, he kicks Hawkeye's ass so fucking fast. It's amazing.
It's just like, okay. Great. Though I do like how he Black Panther is very much playing it very diplomatic of this, like, hey, the Avengers are fucking in shambles. I can't put the risk in that right now. I'll help you fix your shield cap. We're still friends.
And I love that it's like it's bookended by Steve asks him politely. He's like, hey, the shield is just kind of like a minor problem. I really appreciate it because the shield's like one of the few things I have left. But also the Avengers are one of the few things I have left. And I could really use another one of my friends back in the friend group. What do you say? And he's like, I'm busy, dude. I got shit going on. And then when Hawkeye challenges him, Thor and Steve just share this look of like, I mean, if it works.
if it works holding our friend hostage.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Though I love how they're just trying to fix the shield. It's just like, we're just gonna shoot it with like sound. It's gonna work.
Yeah, we're just gonna sonic weld it back together. It'll be cool, dude. And I like the way Wakanda is portrayed in this episode, by the way, because we've gotten glimpses of Wakanda before, but we've never really gotten into their culture. I like how it is very much just a mix of like traditional tribal African imagery, stuff you would see of photos of modern African cities, and like crazy sci-fi Jack Kirby tech just sitting in the middle of a field. That's wonderful. Yeah. It's very comic book.
And it's also just very evocative of like classic Wakanda, because ever since the Black Panther movie, Wakanda's been definitively like, no, we're this kind of version of Afrofuturism.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wakanda is New York with an African American paint job.
And that's not to say that Afrofuturism is wrong. It's just it's like looking at the Fortress of Solitude and then it becoming crystal, and now every Fortress of Solitude's crystal.
Yeah, it lacks a certain amount of kitsch. It has its own flavor of iconicism to it, but it doesn't exactly have the same level of like
pulp,
cheese pulp camp to it, that kind of thing.
And like to an extent, that's fine. a lot of things get updated with time and lose some of that cheesy camp. That's why Spider-Man doesn't have the armpit webs anymore.
That's why the Justice League have the Watchtower satellite, and they don't fucking convene at the Hall of Justice that much anymore.
It's a
Except for
museum.
they brought that back in the comics recently.
But like, it's just little bits and bobs. So I don't
Yeah.
mind how Wakanda is now portrayed in the comics and in adaptations, because I like the Afrofuturism design aesthetic that they developed for the movie, of blending the tribal elements more with the futuristic sci-fi elements instead of them being two separate things. But
Yeah.
Vision's
But
cool.
Vision's cool. I like when he attacks the mansion. That's a fun scene. First time we've seen Jane Foster in this show in like a full season.
Yeah, and her and Wasp are having a little sleepover.
hmm Though it's clearly involuntary on Jane's fault, Wasp is just like, I need girlfriends. Watch this movie with me. I'm just here to fucking check your wound. You fucking sit on the couch, damn it.
But Jane's like, yeah, I'll do it. Come on. Well, she's fine.
Yeah, and there's hinting at a relationship between her and Four, but like we all know that ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah. The fights were cool.
Yeah, some fun, solid fights. I like the allusion towards again a greater Marvel universe. There's a mention of the Weapon X program in the beginning when Vision goes to grab some adamantium, and he's also just got like a very interesting mechanical way of talking about things that almost is kind of played for comedy there at the end when he's getting his ass kicked, and it's like probability of success 99.9%, 80%, 60%, 23%, 0.1%. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
The Weapon X thing is just kind of funny too, because the Weapon X program is descended from the Super Soldier program that created Cap, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a thing in the main universe? Because I thought that was just an Ultimate thing.
I think it's both. It's fudged a little in the main continuity, where it's not necessarily one to one they were connected, but somewhat like there was. I think if I remember right, an evil guy who worked on the Super Soldier program went on to found the weapon number program in Canada, because X isn't X. X is 10.
Yeah, because fucking X-Men has always been that way, I guess.
So Wolverine was the 10th part of the Weapon X program, and that's why Laura Kinney is X-23.
Yeah.
Because she is the 23rd iteration of the 10th version of the weapon program.
Mm-hmm.
Because each weapon number is a idea for the weapon program, and then any number after that is how many iterations of there it is.
Yeah, and they're all extra members of Weapon Sentai Canada, man.
You can call it Alpha Flight.
No one's gonna.
I mean, look at Guardian, look at Puck. Tell me though, put a helmet on Puck and Guardian, and tell me they don't look like Sentai team people.
Little bit, yeah.
Oh, one thing I noticed when just the animation for this episode is when Cap and Black Panther were in the wooded areas fighting Vision. I love the way that they did the dappled shadow from the trees. Because if you pay attention, it's just a texture over top all of it, but it works really well.
Yeah, the animation is really smooth in this episode. This felt like one that they put a little extra effort into.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Overall, really good. The reveal that Ultron's trying to make his adamantium body.
Ultron's up to fuckboy shit, as always.
Yeah. But, good episode. Good Avengering.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Okay.
I hope everyone's doing good. And I hope the world is treating you kindly.
Yeah. So
and if
if it's
not,
treating you kindly, treat us kindly. Support the channel, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe.
stab the moon with a butter knife.
Pass it on. Give us those good vibes that you're getting from us or something else in your life. Because I don't know how people get good vibes from this show, but I'm sure it does happen.
Are you picking up good vibrations? Are you giving me excitations?
Hey, I haven't thought about that song in a literal decade.
Why would you think about that song in Decade? You recently had a good experience? That's good, Nightmare. No, what's also good? SAG-AFTRA has been in discussion and voted unanimously to send strike authorizations to the video game industry.
Yep, it's time for our semi-regular update on the ongoing strikes in the creative industry that force us not to be able to talk about current adaptations with good cause, by the way.
Yeah.
It's now fucking expanding to video games. Holy shit. This is getting real juicy.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have, up to this point, we have had the writers, which was pretty expected. You know, writers do tend to strike every couple decades because they tend to get screwed over every couple decades. Actors, also kind of expected. Then a couple weeks ago, we had VFX people starting to dip their toes in.
And like voting to join unions and everything.
Yeah. But now we have fucking video game people joining in.
No, this isn't video game people. This is voice actors who also work on video games.
Yeah, but like, if they strike, this means devs could feel authorized to strike as well and could ask about that.
Mm-hmm.
This is shit getting real, man. We're looking at a real fucking creative revolution right now, and I am thrilled to be living in this time.
I would love, because here's the thing, the strike happens on video games. The video game industry isn't going to suffer as much as the film industry, right?
Yeah,
because like games, like voice acting is only one part of a major process for a AAA games and everything. And a lot of smaller indie games don't even have voice acting. But this is going to pressure these studios who want to move forward in their games of like, okay, we need to get this dealt with. They're gonna do stuff, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Video games are on the menu, boys.
It's fun. It looks like fair rights for workers is back on the menu, boys.
Man. Plus, we have a bunch of other industries. Like, we've been talking about the entertainment industry because that's what we talk about here. But other industries have done these kind of things. Update on the people, the Teamsters who were doing the UPS.
Didn't they get a new deal?
They got a temporary deal. That was basically pretty much 90% of what they asked for.
Yeah. And I heard a lot of people were considering switching careers because of how good that change was.
The VFX from Marvel, the VFX artists from Marvel are voted to join the ISATE. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Disney ones are also probably going to join that same organization. United Auto Workers are like in the process of voting to strike. Several other industries I can't remember. There's other industries voting to strike though.
It's almost like very recently in our history, a lot of people in Western countries suddenly had a big moment where they could step back and take a breath and go, yeah, this is not worth it. I need more money. I need more benefits. This is bullshit. And we're finally seeing the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
It's always funny. You know, big changes to our culture and to our economy often take longer to go into effect than we really think they will. But when they do, oh man, it is a riveting moment in history.
And like they're good. Remember everybody, They're going to propagandize this to heaven and hell and back.
Oh yeah.
Of just how, like, oh, they're selfish and all. Don't
Disney
listen to them.
hired an entirely new PR firm last week because of how bad a Bob Iger interview went over.
Yep. And here's the thing. This is only the first step to a lot of better stuff in general. So, keep up the good work, everybody.
All I'm saying is like, yo, pro wrestlers. Like, find out me the time.
Hey, pro wrestlers. SAG is in the process of doing a lot of things. Ask if you can join.
Mm-hmm. All it takes is one big name. All we need is a fucking Roman Reigns or a Bryan Danielson. Come on, boys.
Hey, all it would take is a John Cena.
Though Cena did just fucking go back to WWE because
Yeah.
he wanted to still be able to work while the strike is happening. So
That's fair.
I don't know about that specifically.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if Batista, who is a SAG member right now,
yeah,
came out and said, like, yo, my boys in wrestling, they're also getting treated like shit like us. Let's do something about this.
Mm-hmm. Let's actually do one for the boys.
For the boys. Speaking of the boys, we got to talk about one of the classic comic The Boys, Jerry Conway, creator of The Punisher and Jason Todd, has revealed that he is battling cancer.
He was battling cancer.
I'm going off the headline.
Yeah. So what this is, because I did skim this article earlier, he was diagnosed in October of last year. They had surgery, and then they went through a couple of rounds of treatment, and at the moment, his doctors are pretty sure he's in remission. He's still got some care to go through. He's not quite ready to return to full-time work and go into cons and shit, but he has been absent from that kind of stuff over the last year because he's been dealing with this privately, which I think is incredibly impressive and courageous of him, especially knowing how much that kind of stuff is vital just to a elderly comic creator being able to keep the lights on these days.
Well, yeah. Good to see that for Jerry.
Yeah, glad he's okay. Maybe people will be a little more sympathetic towards him and actually listen to him when he says stop putting the Punisher logo on things that doesn't fucking go on now.
Yeah. Jonathan Hickman reveals he's working on another book at Marvel. I never knew what Hickman looked like.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking guy you'd see playing bass guitar in a dad rock band.
He looks like Sal with a wig.
Yeah. So basically, Jonathan Hickman did an interview with a publication recently where he's just let slip like, "Oh yeah, I have another book in the works at Marvel right now that I can't talk about, but it's really exciting because it's something I swore I'd never work on until very recently when somebody gave me an idea, a way to approach it that I'd never considered before." And so the speculation mills have been running rampant recently because of that, and a lot of people are narrowing it down to, okay, either he's taken over Iron Man, Spider-Man, or Doctor Strange. And I say, what if he's just making another new thing like Gods?
What if there's also other things that maybe, like, what if he's doing an Ant-Man book? What if he's doing a Hank Pym book?
Oh man, don't fucking tempt me with a good time.
You know? Part of me just kind of goes like, I want it to be Spider-Man because I just want something new. I want
a good modern Spider-Man comic.
I just like
that's in continuity. I fucking know about Life Story, damn it.
Just get Wells off the book, give Wells another like asshole team to deal with because like he's good at writing assholes, but Spider-Man's not the book you write assholes in.
Mm-hmm.
Hellions. He was great in Hellions. He wrote Hellions to fucking back.
No.
Uh,
But whatever Hickman's writing next, we're interested in it and we'll probably check it out because you're a Jonathan Hickman fanboy. I'm somebody who really wishes he could understand Jonathan Hickman as well as most other people claim to, but does generally like his stuff.
I mean, you could always just read his Fantastic Four run.
I'm somewhat to do. Let's get to it.
All right. We got toy news. Marvel Legends
Yay!
Phoenix Saga returns. 8 new releases. Look at this.
So we've been talking about this fucking thing for a while now, because initially we thought it was going to be free figures that would be released to specialty fan channel retailers, and then we kind of got an inkling that there might be more in the last couple of weeks, seeing the packaging shots at Fan Expo Canada, and then this week they just dumped all the pretty promotional photos on us of, yeah, it's a full-on wave of re-releases with a bunch of tweaks and updates to bring them up to modern snuff. So Black Widow, it is that same figure that came out with the Winter Soldier, which was the first movie Black Widow action figure, if you can believe that. Remember back in the days of like the in between Avengers and Avengers 2 where people were complaining there wasn't enough Black Widow merchandise. So they've taken that figure, they've reworked the torso and given it modern articulated arms and updated the face printing. So it'll probably be a little bit better. I remember that figure being really disappointing at the time, but maybe it'll actually be good now. I don't know. I'm not actually planning to pick
We got
it up.
Avengers Bruce Banner.
Yeah. I think this is a figure that was in a 4-pack that was a Toys R Us exclusive with updated face printing. It's that same suit body they always use. It's got some minor tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it's just your Brucey boy.
Real quick, I've started watching this YouTube guy called Ordinary Sausage. He makes ridiculous sausage out of ridiculous ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, whenever he's done making the sausage, he has to blow out the funnel. So what he does is he puts up a picture of Mark Ruffalo and he blows it out onto Mark Ruffalo and he rates it between 1 and 5 Mark Ruffalos. So now whenever I see Mark Ruffalo, I just think of his face getting covered in sausage goo.
Fascinating.
Yes. Captain America, look at this. Look at this boy.
Yeah, we got stealth suit, super soldier Captain America. I think this is basically the same as the figure that came out at the time of Winter Soldier, but with updated face printing. And I think the helmeted head might actually be stolen off of one of the Infinity War caps, but I'm not 100% sure because there's been a bajillion Marvel Legends MCU Captain Americas, but it looks fine.
Boy, you couldn't have worded it better. No.
That's true. That's true.
Look at Iron Man. Look at this Iron Man. It's Iron Man.
Look, it's the Infinity Quintillionth MCU Iron Man action figure, everybody.
I mean, it's the Infinity Quintillionth Iron Man figure in general.
Yeah, I think it's literally just the same figure that came out at the time of Civil War, but with a new unhelmeted head, and the contrast is cranked down just a bit to better match the color grading in the film.
Yeah. And we got Mark II.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that's actually kind of exciting because we haven't actually gotten a Marvel Legends of this suit before. There is a 6-inch figure that came out at the time of the original movie, but it's incredibly dated in sculpt and articulation. So this is essentially the Mark III figure that we got a year or two ago, but with the Mark I or the Mark II paint scheme that is appropriate for the movie, and it looks fairly movie accurate. If you've been dying to have a complete MCU Hall of Armor, it's a must get.
Yeah. And hey, you could also put this with your War Machine toys too.
That's true.
And speaking of War Machine,
yeah, Civil War Machine. The last time War Machine's armor looked decent in the MCU. This figure was originally released in a 2-pack.
Way before Armor Wars, before you say that.
That's true. That's true.
Fuck me.
It was originally It was originally released as a two-pack, Target exclusive two-pack with like just a generic, like translucent red Iron Man figure. I think they give it an Iron Man mark number, but I don't fucking remember what it was. And it was also missing a few accessories that we have here. Uh, and I think the fact that they're re-releasing it as a single release is pretty good. It's going to be helpful to a lot of people. Honestly, is a tiny bit tempting to me because I do generally tend to like War Machine's MCU look when it sticks to this kind of aesthetic. Like I like this version of the armor, and I like the version from Iron Man 2. Um, but no Don Cheadle head. Kind of weird when almost everybody else in this wave comes with an alternate unmasked head.
Yeah, maybe there's just something up. Maybe there's something up with just like rights with his face or something. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully they can get that worked out in time for Armor Wars figures.
Yeah. Spiderman.
Yeah, Civil War Spider-Man. Again, this is a figure that was originally exclusive to a free pack that was exclusive to some store that came out at around the time of Civil War. It is basically the same figure, but with a new unmasked head. It'll do you just fine if you just want a generic MCU Spider-Man, but honestly, there have been a lot better ones since this figure came out. I think, like a lot of figures in this wave, it is just aftermarket value on these is skyrocketed, so we're trying to help newer collectors out.
Yeah. Thor.
This is one out of all these in this wave.
I'm getting to the box. Oh, Dark World.
Yeah, this is specifically his look from Dark World. And out of all the figures in this wave, this is the one I would say maybe don't get this one, even if you're tempted to, because from Avengers 2 up until Ragnarok, they did this weird thing in Marvel Legends where all the MCU Asgardians were like scaled up compared to everybody else. It was supposed to be like, oh, they're otherworldly, they're gods, so they're larger than life compared to everybody else. But that wasn't accurate to the movies. So all these figures look weirdly big next to the rest of your Marvel Legends.
They're like half a head taller.
Yeah, the only reason to get this is if you just really want those updated face printed sculpts.
And you like the Dark World costume.
Which I don't think anybody does. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just a weird coat of paint on the first movie costume.
Yeah. And that's it. Those are the figures. Look at them. Look at the dudes.
Those are going to be shipping out to retailers near you very soon, and will probably be clogging up your local liquidation stores sometime in the next 6 months.
And we got Retro Moon Knight and Spider-Man. Oh my god.
Yeah, these are going to be Target exclusives. It's going to be the Walgreens exclusive Moon Knight and the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man that came out as part of the 60th anniversary program on retro Avengers Superpower style cards. It's basically no changes. I mean, the spider on the back of Spider-Man is now blue, which apparently matches like one specific issue where it looked that way. But if you already have these figures, you can skip these entirely. However, if you don't, I would say jump on these, because the reason these are happening is both these figures have gone bazonkers on the aftermarket in the last 6 months. They are crazy expensive on eBay these days. So again, this is probably the Legends team going like, hey, if you didn't get these the first time, here's your second chance, newer collectors.
I love how one of the poses they did for Spider-Man is him yelling at hippies.
Yeah.
That's him yelling at hippies pose.
That's great.
I really kind of want that Moon Knight because I love Moon Knight.
Yeah, that is probably the best Legends Moon Knight, so I might even pick that up because I missed it when it was a Walgreens exclusive.
Because like you can do the black mask, but also the white mask, and it's like, oh man, that's just like classic Moon Knight.
I mean, I'd switch out the cape and cowl for like a cloth wired option, but otherwise, that's like a perfect, just classic costume Moon Knight.
I mean, the way they pose it in here, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I just always find plastic capes kind of hard to work with.
Yeah. Hasbro Marvel Legends stream next Friday, September 8th. Okay,
Yep,
cool.
they're gonna be doing a fan stream coming up this Friday, so we'll probably recap that on next week's show. A little weird that they're doing it this week because Hasbro PulseCon is just 2 weeks after that. So I'm wondering how much new stuff they're actually gonna show here. They'll probably hold back a fair amount for PulseCon, I would imagine, but is this just gonna be a short little thing? Is it going to be mainly padded with here's all the stuff we've only been showing you online for the last couple of months? It's going to be really interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, who knows? Marvel Legends, ruined Spider-Man. Everyone's dying to get that figure.
Oh my god!
Do you have you seen Ruins?
I have. I've read Ruins. We're gonna read the sequel when it comes out. Do you think they might actually do
Rain.
that though?
No, that's Rain. I'm talking about Ruins.
Oh, okay, yes. I've read about that, but I haven't actually read that story.
That's the one where Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, gets bit and he just gets covered in cancerous lesions.
Oh yeah, that story is so fucked.
that just looks like the Spider-Man suit, and it's like, oh god. Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk and immediately explodes into gore and viscera.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, guess what?
What?
McFarlane exists.
Yep, Todd's been announcing a bunch of shit again this week, starting off with a bunch of Superpowers pre-orders, the entire next wave, as well as a Amazon exclusive free pack and a new vehicle.
These are all the 5-point articulation, like classic style toys, right?
Not quite 5-point. They have elbow and knee joints. But for the most part, you know, it's classic style, like meant to be for kids. So you have Flashpoint Batman,
Thomas Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's favorite kid character.
I love how the Batman on the box art is just regular Batman. They just colored his eyes red.
Oh yeah, they totally did. That's great.
We got a classic Superman.
Yeah, I don't think this is based off of anything specific.
Oh my god, this is so fucking...
No. It's, you can tell by the belt. That's New 52 Superman.
That's New 52 Superman, but look at the art on the box. That is a classic stock art Superman that they edited to have the New 52 belt.
I mean, it fits with the packaging aesthetic, but that's kind of weird.
It fucking's weird looking.
Yeah. What are you doing, fellas?
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like, if you didn't know that style of art is like a classic, who did all that? It wasn't Neil Adams.
Yeah, no, Tim, New 52 Superman didn't have underwear. He just had a belt and a bunch of dumb fucking speed lines on him.
Here's the thing. I don't mind the belt. I want the belt to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they say, like, he can't have his trunks, fine. But make the belt big.
Give Clark, like, a fucking Kamen Rider belt he inserts different types of kryptonite into.
Yeah, it's Superman. Look at that man. He's super.
He sure is super.
We got a whirly bat. It's a Batcopter.
Yep. This was a toy from the classic Superpowers line that they've remade for their line, and it looks exactly as goofy as it used to, and I kind of love that.
This is Zora will see Batman in it.
Mm-hmm. He's just having a good time. He's just out fighting crime.
Having a good time. We
Batman
got Peacemaker.
Yep,
every kid's favorite character.
They're doing an Amazon exclusive Peacemaker free pack that is all the heroes that were in the show, but in their classic comic looks.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so you got Peacemaker, you got Vigilante, and you got Judo Master.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I think that would actually be kind of neat to have, like, on card. I don't know if I'd actually play with these guys, but, like, God, they just look so doofy. It's wonderful.
Do that? They don't have elbows.
They do not. That's interesting.
They have shoulders and they have hips and knees, but they don't have elbows.
Well, all the better to punch crime with.
Peacemaker looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Judo Master looks like fucking classic Judo Master.
Yeah. I,
Vigilante, look at our autism boy, everybody.
yeah, look at him. Everybody's favorite autistic aspirational superhero character.
Look at our favorite autism creature. This is a man that would go yippee.
Yeah.
Yippee! We got Flash.
Yep. Let me
This
because
looks
I
like a
can't
Wally.
actually.
This looks like a Wally.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Wally. That's like Mark Wade era Wally actually because of the shade of red they're going with
Yeah, and it's
there.
shiny.
Yeah, so that's like iconic prime when Wally West comics were really damn good Wally. So
Yeah.
not a bad pick.
Uh, 89 Batman, or just
Uh,
Batman.
I think it's probably just all Batman. I don't
It's
think it's meant to be Batman.
Batman in 89 colors.
Yeah, it looks like it could easily pass for that movie, but like even when they're not doing an 89 Batman, toy lines will often do just a straight up black golden belt Batman to kind of evoke 89 because it's so iconic.
Damn, Batman got that crimson chin. You're not
He
wrong.
does. He has that fucking chiseled block right there. Damn.
Nightwing in his
His original costume
no,
as
this isn't
Nightwing.
original. This is post disco. Is this supposed to be the disco
Oh
costume?
no no no! This is post disco. This is the first costume he wore in his solo
This is
series.
like his original 90s costume, and then he got the blue V.
Yeah, it goes disco, then this for like a year, then they went to the blue costume.
Not bad. Again, box art people. That's not the same costume.
Yeah,
Not even close
somebody
to the same costume.
somebody's just getting handed a note that says we're going with a 90s Nightwing. Okay, Google 90s Nightwing translucent PNG.
Uh, Neat to see though.
Yeah.
90s Robin, some Tim Drake.
Yeah, everybody loves Tim Drake. Everybody in their mid 30s loves Tim Drake.
Yeah, it's Tim Drake. Yeah, that's all of them. Look at all these.
Yeah, pretty solid wave. I'm liking how this line has branched out from we're doing shit from the original toy line and we're doing ultra modern shit. It's kind of just DC Universe classics, but in this aesthetic now. We're doing a grab bag of things and we're also evoking that old toy line.
Yeah.
It's probably the most cohesive toy line DC has had in a long time, if I'm being honest.
Brad Meltzer doesn't love Tim Drake.
Well, Brad Meltzer and I aren't friends, so who cares about him?
What was I about to say? Oh, this kind of feels like an in-house version of Reaction of,
A little bit.
you know, not it's to the same extreme that Reaction is, but it feels kind of like, yeah, this is meant to just be for dumb collecting.
Yeah, the thing about reaction is like I always get the vibe that you're just supposed to keep reaction on card. It's just supposed to be, hey, look, I have an action figure of this. Isn't that
I have
wacky?
I have an action figure of Frasier.
hmm These look like they're meant to be played
Oh
with.
yeah, these are meant to be put on a shelf, and when you have an 8-year-old kid or a 9-year-old niece or nephew, and they're bored, you can go like, "Hey, you want to play with some superheroes?" Because you're
You
not
want
that
every
worried.
DC character? Here you go, little Jimmy.
Because you're not that worried about them.
hmm It's like you're not old enough yet to touch my Mayfax, but you can play with these superpowers to your heart's content.
Yeah. Honestly, I think every line. I think Hasbro should have a line like this, other than the Titans series.
They did have a line like that for a little bit, but it got put on hold this year. So
Yeah. DC Multiverse Injustice 2, Superman, and Brainiac. If you're
we talked
really
about Brainiac last week, but literally the next fucking day they put up Injustice 2 Superman for pre-order. and it sure does look like that god-awful design.
Yep.
Like, regardless of how you feel about that version of the character, this is just a bad costume design.
Here's the thing. It's the design meant to be in a video game.
Uh-huh.
Nowhere else.
It is literally created without any kind of forethought.
It is purely for, we need the legs to look more distinct, the bottom of the leg to look more distinct from the top of the leg for when he kicks in the video game so you can see it easier.
We want people to look at this and go, man, graphics have gotten crazy.
We need his hands to be red so it's super easy to read when he's punching you.
We want there to be shit around his face. He's got to have like a fucking Gambit head sock so that you think, oh man, there's so many polygons on that model.
See, here's the thing. I'm giving you actual reasons why they would design this, and you're just complaining about video games.
I mean, this is fucking my MO. What do you want from me? It looks fine.
Yeah. And Brainiac is a cool Brainiac.
Yeah, I actually really like that Brainiac design. It's grown a lot on me in the last week. I'm kind of tempted to buy that.
Yeah. It's Brainiac. Can't go wrong with a Brainiac. All right, what other McFarlane guys do we got? Oh, Multiverse Omega and Batman Gold labels.
Yeah, this is, I forget what exclusive this is, because Gold Label is just their word for exclusive to something. But yeah, this is based on Batman: The Last Night on Earth, which was one of the final arcs of the Scott Snyder run on Batman, where Batman gets sent to the future and fights his future self, who's changed his name to Omega because comics are stupid. Yeah, it's the new 52 Batman we've gotten a bunch of times, or Rebirth Batman, depending on how you look at it. It's that Batman costume. We've gotten it a bunch of times before in McFarlane's line, but now it has a bloody lip. And Omega, I think, is a new figure. I don't remember him getting a release before, but like, who cares? Scott Snyder's run went to shit very fucking fast. Hot take.
Also, what is up with this dumb little cape?
He's got like a Super Sentai hip cape going.
Also, he doesn't come with a mask.
Weird.
That's a pack. McFarlane Supergirl, first look, good label. Look, hey, it's
fucking go.
It's your girl.
It happened.
You can finally bust out your hot glue gun.
Don't make the subtext text, man.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a death glare.
No, I'm just like, don't break kayfabe, brother, because fucking this does look very good. I am pretty excited for this. It's going to be a Target exclusive, so it's going to be a little hard to get, but you know, I'll pay stupid aftermarket prices if I have to, because I have to know this is the first fucking like actual mainline DC continuity action figure of Kara we've gotten in years. And I am very interested to see how it turns out. I'm still not in love with the face sculpt and like the way it's painted. It looks a little too doll-like porcelain doll-like for my taste.
See, here's the thing. My brain went the immediate opposite direction. This feels like a Kara in her like late 20s, early 30s.
Possibly. I could possibly see it that way. I think the cloth cape is an interesting choice. I really want to know what material that is and get my hands on it to see how it plays. Other than that, I have very few notes. If they're going for the Rebirth look, which is what this looks like to me, the only thing that's really missing here is there's gold trim around the cuffs in that era. But that little paint app being missing isn't the kind of thing I normally like cry over spilled milk for. So overall, this looks really good for a McFarlane DC Multiverse Supergirl. I'm gonna pick this up, and you're gonna hear thoughts from me at some point.
No, you like the character so much, I wouldn't think you would call her a thought.
Oh my god.
Look. This is your thing. I gotta make some kind of. I have to say
You're,
some kind of comment. It might as
you
well be a
have to,
joke.
but you don't have to go for the lowest, easiest fruit there, buddy.
Uh, Last Ronin action figure commercial. Look at this. It's stop motion. We got.
Yeah, every once in a while, NECA will commission people to do stop motion videos of their most recent TMNT releases to advertise them a little better. And this is just one they recently did of the Last Ronin fighting a bunch of Sinja patrol bots, and it looks fucking neat.
Honestly, more collector brand toy lines should do this with their figures.
Yeah.
Like, imagine fucking Amazing Yamaguchi doing a fucking stop motion
Ooh,
commercial.
Boy, that'd be the tits.
With the hype-ass keyframes.
Mm-hmm. I'd be down for that. Also, they announced at the end of this ad, which is the next friggin' thing and the last thing for the news this week, they're doing a black and white variant of the Sinja Patrol bot that's an elite Sinja Patrol bot, because they spent a lot of money on that tooling. They got to get their money's worth.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they showed up, the elites, the Sinjas showed up in the 3rd issue.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't come from nothing.
Yeah, that would make sense. I still need to.
And here's some
Ronin.
Here's some screenshots and pictures of them. They look really cool.
They're looking solid. I would like to see these post up next to the original NECA TMNT black and white boys, the SDCC exclusives from way back in the day. I think that'd be a cool photo set to do.
They look really good, really solid. Can't complain. They look dope.
BBTS does them for their ads? I've never seen that before. I'll have to look into that, Tim.
But that is it for all the news. You ready to talk about some comics?
Yeah. Sure.
Cool. So first up, we're talking about Wolverine Weapons of X Part 3. Enter the Hellverine.
I didn't read this. I decided to skip over it because I haven't been following the crossover.
That is fair. I'll explain what happens.
Cool.
So they realize, oh, we got to go to this place from an earlier Ghost Rider story. So Wolverine gets on the back of Ghost Rider's motorcycle. So I want you to picture this. Wolverine is sitting behind a flaming skull going thousands of miles per hour, just hitting his face.
You gotta tell me, does he put his arms around Johnny, or does he do the grab the back of the seat thing?
He doesn't do the bitch thing. He doesn't do the bitch maneuver. He doesn't do the no homo. He grabs Johnny. But here's the thing. His face is melting off the entire time because they're going Mach 2 on a motorcycle and a flaming skull is right there.
He's just like, this is an interesting Tuesday.
And literally, they land where they need to be, and he just goes, next time I'm driving. It's fun. We catch up with Wolverine's CIA buddy. And he's looking into the occult shit that Wolverine's dealing with. And a demon starts attacking him by having flies fly out of his mouth. He's like, oh shit! He gets possessed, he starts stabbing his arm.
Yeah, that would be a pain right there.
Then Johnny's goth girlfriend shows up and goes like, hey, I'm here to help. Who the fuck are you? I'm here to, like, and they do the whole back and forth snarky bullshit sidekick thing. It's fun. And we get a reveal for what the whole plan is. The weapons program is starting to research the occult and are wondering if they can use demon possession to create super soldiers. So, the boy from the Ghost Rider story that was like, oh, he's possesses he like weird things happen. He's supernatural, and Professor Xavier didn't want to take him in, all that kind of shit. He's volunteered because he's tired of having to do all the supernatural shit. Because basically, like every so often, he has to kill a person and brutally murder them to placate the demon. It's fucked up, right? And he's just like, I just want to be normal. I just want this gone. And they're all like, yeah, we'll get it gone. And we just got to test subjects. Because it's Wolverine. Because, like, a lot of this was just a trap to lure Wolverine there so they could fuck with him. Because it's the weapons program. Haha, fuck you, Wolverine. So, they put the fucking helmet on him, and his immediate response is, no, not the fucking helmet! He has, like, a panic attack.
Not that goddamn thing they used to make a variant of my action figure every time.
And he gets put into a thing. They do some fucking science bullshit, and they transfer the demon thing onto Wolverine, and he is literally called the Helverine, and his hot claws come back.
Way.
Because, like, before the demon enters him, his hot claws start activating and burning the liquid he's in. And I think, oh, shit, you're bringing that back. What the fuck? Yeah, it ends on the reveal of Helverine.
That's pretty cool. Though I have to say, you mentioning the whole sidekick meetup thing just kind of sent me down a mind rabbit hole of going like, man, has Whistler ever met Microchip?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a story opportunity that should be taken if it hasn't already.
Definitely. Although Microchip hasn't been in the books in a while.
Yeah.
Next book, we both read Ultimate Invasion.
This book is going places, man.
This book is going This book is going Hickman.
This he does a lot to try and explain what the fuck is happening in this issue, and I still felt a little lost.
Okay, so from what I understand, the Maker is in this universe that is not the Ultimate Universe, but he's trying to make it in his image, which is the Ultimate Universe. And he's basically eliminating things that would get in his way of control.
Yeah.
Okay. And he does a certain number of things, and he's gotten certain people on his side to do something. This includes Howard Stark, this universe's Iron Man, who is now being put together on a project with this universe's Reed Richards in a Doctor Doom mask.
In a Doctor Doom mask that looks like the frickin' Tim Story Doctor Doom. It doesn't look like comic Doctor Doom's mask.
And then we end on a reveal of all the future Ultimates clones being led by an Iron King.
And also, friggin' every time you see the Maker in this comic, he's got the same weirdly threatening, shit-eating grin.
I mean, that's
like his
Maker.
face never changes.
I don't know what to make of this book's. It's going to have to be the end. We're gonna have to see how this fucking shapes up to see what to make of it.
Yeah, it honestly right now it does feel a bit like Hickman's just farting around and trying to figure out what he wants to do. Like, he has something he wants to say, but he can't quite get there.
Well, remember, this was
just because we haven't seen all of it yet.
Remember, this was also originally a Donny Cates project that Hickman took over because Donny Cates got in an accident.
That's right.
So he's probably working off notes and trying to figure out what, like, you know. So overall, I'm liking it. Here's the thing. The moment-to-moment scenes and the dialogue, great. I love the moment where Howard's just going like, what do you want me to do, Tony? And it's just like, I want you to be the good guy. I don't want you to beat the bad guys.
Like, come on, Dad. Why don't you just be cool and shit? Why don't you just fucking get in armor?
And like those kind of moments, the reveal of Reed Richards, the reveal of Iron King, they're good moments. It's just the connecting tissue is tissue paper.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what? What is going on? Ileana's yelling about something now.
Yeah.
What?
I like it. Art's good.
Mm-hmm. Brian Hitch is on form.
Yeah. This is definitely a very much a conclusion book kind of thing.
Yeah.
We both read The Incredible Hulk.
This book fucks.
Hey, have you gotten enough of that horror religious overtones from Immortal Hulk? No? Here you go. Here's
It's
some
just
more.
more. It's just more, and it's so good. I fucking love it.
I love how they use more Southern Gothic in at least this little bit of the book so far.
Mm-hmm. I also just love the relationship that's forming between Hulk and the little runaway girl.
Yeah.
It is very classic. It's very like just playing on tropes that you know, but it's doing it so well that I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for this.
And next issue, he's gonna fight Giant Size Man Thing.
Oh man.
Which I have a feeling is going to be a metatextual joke about how Immortal Hulk was very similar to Swamp Thing.
We shall see.
You read Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah, Conan number 2 from friggin'
How big must Conan's number 2s be? Because all he eats is meat. They have to be massive.
No idea. But Jim Zub's still killing it on this book. It still feels very classic high fantasy, very fun and enthralling, and playing off of certain tropes from those kinds of stories and managing not to make them feel outdated or problematic. Like there's literally a moment where because the plot of the book we talked about like last issue, a bunch of raiders from out of nowhere came and destroyed this place Conan was hanging out of, and the big end of issue reveal was that they've also destroyed his homeland. This one lady who also survives the raid tells him, and this issue he's just like, fuck that, I don't believe that. There's no fucking way. My people are too strong and too cool. There's no way that actually happened. And she's like, dude, I saw it. And he's like, well, whatever. You seem like you want revenge because you're also saying they took out your village and you've been tracking them, and that's why you were here. So why don't I just join you? We're gonna track them together. We're gonna figure out how this thing works, and we're gonna take them down. And ultimately, it comes out that they're basically zombies. They are like these hypnotized seeming barbarians who are all traveling in a uniform way, and every night instead of making camp and going to sleep they just stop in place and stare up at the moon. And after a week of tracking them and just observing this, Conan's starting to get a little antsy, and he's like, maybe we should just fight them. Maybe we should just take them out now, because it doesn't seem like they're going to change all that much in their behavior. And in very much just, this is how women are written in high fantasy. The lady just goes, I got a better idea. How about we fuck?
How about we fuck?
Yeah, so it's tasteful, but there is a sex scene that's entirely casual and feels a little bit gratuitous in this. But it didn't feel like, again, it didn't feel outdated. It didn't feel misogynistic. It just felt like this is how characters in these kinds of stories behave, especially because Conan wakes up the next morning and finds that the barbarians they were tracking have already gone ahead, and she went without him to track them. And he catches up to her, and she's like, yeah, I just needed you to wait a while longer because I figured out a while ago that they were trying to get to Suffing, and I wanted to find out what that Suffing is. And oh shit, it's a big fucking demon mountain. They're being controlled by some kind of demon mountain thing. It's called the Forbidden Fortress. This is classic high fantasy, and it's fun. It's all right. I'm enjoying this book. It's nothing really to write home about, I'd say. Like this, if you're not a huge Conan fan, you don't need to check this out. But as somebody who's new to Conan, I'm enjoying it.
That's good. That's good. Come on. We both read Miss Marvel, The New Mutant, #1.
Yeah, this was surprisingly all right.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it feels a lot better than it could have been is because literally the first thing we see in the book is, hey, yeah, Miss Marvel's been several things and now she's a mutant. Yeah, that's fucking with her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just sweeping that under the rug. This is something that's fucking with her some.
She's dealing with a little bit of an identity crisis in this, especially because she's going on a special mission for the X-Men that is essentially sending her away to college, away from her family, and she's kind of questioning everything and falling back on using Bruno as kind of an emotional support dog. And it's very interesting to see the way their relationship plays out in this. Is very much they both have a mutual understanding of that, of when you have this kind of life, that's just a thing that has to happen in your friend group sometimes.
You have to be the emotional dumping ground.
Yeah. And Bruno's all for it, you know. He's always been tech support bro who wishes he could be something more. And he kind of made his peace with that back in the original G. Willow Wilson run, so.
What if he became like Gear in Static Shock? Remember Gear?
A little bit. I could see that. But yeah, this is also Kamala's first experience with the special brand of racism that's reserved for mutants. So that's fun.
Yeah, because that's why they're sending her to this college, because it's Orcus being funded by Orcus.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're going to investigate, you're going to get us all this intel so that we can get it shut down. And then she ends up having to do a superhero thing. And of course, she changed her costume to look like an X-Men costume.
It's not that she changed her costume. It's that was the only costume she has.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But everybody sees that and they're like, oh shit, is Miss Marvel a mutant? What's going on? Oh, mutants are scary. Remember the fucking Hellfire Gala? And she just kind of goes to her room and cuddles up in a blanket, and it's like, people are shit.
Yeah, but I mean, the moments where she goes underground and talks to the X-Men is great.
I love freaking Rasputin being a Miss Marvel fangirl. That's adorable.
Love that. I also love that she's such a good person. She has this like innocent, wild eye appreciation of the past, and like Miss Marvel's like, no, you're in like, this is shit, but like, this is a good world. Here's some chocolate, and she goes like, oh, I've heard rumors about this, and it's just like,
yeah, I think she literally says, I've heard the legends.
Yeah. Sink and
also,
Talon are acting like cool older siblings.
Yeah. Though, gotta ask, because we haven't talked about the character at all. Over under, you think new for this book roommate character is a secret asshole?
It's very probable.
Yeah. I feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like they're setting that up because,
or they are currently a secret asshole, and by the end of this they won't be an asshole.
Probably. That's definitely much more in the keeping of the spirit of Kamala stories, so I could see that happening. But yeah, overall, really solid first issue. I'm interested to see where it goes from here, and I'm very impressed with MCU actress whose name I always forget how to pronounce.
It's on the cover, Iman Vellani.
Yeah, I always just forget how to pronounce it because I struggle with non-American names. But yeah, I'm really impressed with her as a writer, because remember when this book got announced, I was like, oh god, anytime they get an actor to write something, it's really lame or bad.
Well, they also got another like experienced writer helping her out, so it's not like she's doing it all by herself.
But they often give those people a helper, and it always it's mixed results usually is what I'm saying. And I was pleasantly surprised to find that this turned out well.
You know, Marvel, like, recently for that kind of thing has kind of been 2 for 2, because remember, Nyla Rose did the that one shot
That's
that we
true.
both really enjoyed.
Though I'm more so meaning just like, oh, this actor played this
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
let them write a thing about that
Okay.
character. Like I've heard very mixed things about what's his fucking name? The guy who played Riddler in the Batman. He's writing a Riddler comic right now, and the only time I hear anybody talk about it, it's like, yeah.
She already demonstrated a better understanding of the character and world than the showrunners.
That's true.
She demonstrates a better understanding of the Marvel multiverse than Kevin Feige. Let's be honest.
It's Earth 1999999.
What was I about to say? I was about to say there's only one actor who I trust could probably write their character in a book. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Oh man, why hasn't that happened yet?
I can totally see Ryan Reynolds nailing a Deadpool book.
Yeah, that should happen.
And maybe John Barenthal as the Punisher.
Mm. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I can see it, like, I can see it if you take it less of like a continuity Punisher story and do it more as like a
Just here's my take on the
I'm
Punisher
trying to
from the
remember,
ground up.
who's the fuckhead that hates superheroes, wrote The Boys?
Mark Millar?
No, Mark Millar didn't write The Boys.
Why don't I just Google it? We do
He
have
wrote
the technology.
Preacher.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, I can see John Barron, Garth Ennis.
Yeah,
I can see
that fucking guy.
I can see Barenthal making an Ennis like Punisher book.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. But hey, I read Blade #2.
Hey, what's going on with the Vampy Man?
So he realizes, fuck, there's a fucking weird ass vampire demon running around. Shit. All right, let me go talk to my arms dealer. And he literally saves his arms dealer from being shot by the Yakuza.
As you do.
And he goes like, all right, cool. I saved your life. You owe me. I need some weapons. I accidentally brought like a demon forth. And she's like, you, fucking, I hate you, Blade. I know you hate me, but I need weapons. Do you want to fuck real quick? Sure. So
Isn't he fucking like trying to rekindle his relationship with his daughter?
Oh, they mentioned that. And also, she has a superhero name. She's Bloodline.
Yeah. Okay, they are going with that as the name.
Yeah. Because basically she says, like, don't you have a small town or a daughter to take care of? And he literally goes, hey, there's a demon running around. My daughter has been trained and is doing things, and like, I trust her. I have to deal with this.
Her mom anymore, so I'm not gonna fuck myself.
No, it like literally, it's like, hey, this doesn't mean anything. This was just to relieve tension. And he was like, yeah, I know. We were just fucking to fuck. There's no emotion behind this.
Something about the way you said we're just fucking to fuck.
And so they deal with things. They get attacked. He takes one of the guns. He uses it, and he goes like, ooh, I like. And then he goes like, by the way, I am taking this one. And then he goes back to one of the ninja persons who like saved him from a thing, who he tied up in a thing, and they have a conversation. And they're trying to figure out what the next step of the plan is. It is good, and it's less vampire-y and more just general occulty, which I think is okay. I think is okay for Blade to do more general occult stuff, but have it rooted in vampirism. So it's overall really good.
Yeah.
You read Doomsday Special.
This is really interesting because I didn't know what to expect from this. Like, I'm sure this was in solicitations. I just didn't see anything about it until like a week ago, and I was like, I'll check it out. It's an Action Comics thing. I'm enjoying everything going on with that book right now. This is a Stealth Kara book.
Oh, that's fun.
I won the lottery, buddy, because this is literally Kara and Clark are having breakfast at the Kent apartment, and she's like dozing off and fucking covers her pancakes in syrup by accident, and he's like, "You want some pancakes to go with your syrup?" And she's like, "Oh, sorry, I just didn't get much sleep last night. I actually wanted to talk to you. I had a nightmare." And he's like, "Oh, what'd you see?" "Doomsday killing people in hell." And his response is just to say, "Lordy." Like, that's the most Clark Kent thing I've seen in a while, is just responding to, "Oh, doomsday shit? Oh, lordy."
Oh Lord.
Yeah, but she explains she's been having a recurring nightmare about Doomsday in Hell, and she asks him again, like, "Is there anything you can tell me about Doomsday that you haven't already talked about? Anything about what it was like to fight him?" And he's just like, "Well, dying was interesting because I technically did die, but like, there's not much to say that I haven't already." And she's like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll go talk to like a therapist or something because maybe this is real, maybe it's just a dream." And then she fucking goes on patrol, and immediately John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, shows up and goes, "Yo, shit's real. We got to go to Hell and fight Doomsday because he's trying to take over Hell." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So they go, and a one of the many DC versions of the Devil, I think he's called the One Below, goes, "Oh, thank God you guys are here. Here, Supergirl, here's some cool fucking hell armor that you can use to survive fighting my demons in Doomsday. Please stop him." And they do that, and it looks rad as hell, and they go home, and that's it. That's the whole book. It's just a fun, let's watch these characters fighting demons in hell, and let's give Todd McFarlane another Supergirl figure to make, because he can't resist fucking hell armor Supergirl.
Is this year like an anniversary for the death of Superman?
I think last year was. I remember an anniversary special coming out sometime in the last year.
Because or could this be like I don't know. It just feels like this is like an anniversary thing for the death of Superman or something.
It feels like somebody just went like, "Hey, I've got a brainworm of an idea. Can I do an Action Comics one shot while that book's off because you guys are doing Night Terrors?" And they're like, "Sure, fucking go for it."
All right. Also, real quick, I'll have to look it up. This looks like the person who was doing the Ghost Rider covers.
A little bit, yeah.
Uh, which are good covers. They're great covers to get that hell vibes.
Mm-hmm.
We both read Batman, Catwoman, The Gotham War, Battle Lines.
This was so interesting.
This is very interesting because it feels like Chip is, specifically for Batman.
Well, Chip and Teeny, because remember, they co-wrote this.
To me, it felt very much like Chip was doing the Batman work and Teeny was doing the Catwoman work, and then they came together into both their collaborative scenes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but that's kind of that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I can get that vibe. I can get that.
Because Death was 92, so yeah, Return of Superman was 93 though. Yeah, it could have been a Return of Superman kind of just, hey, it's been a year, why not? But because this is also dealing with what his Batman's been dealing with, of just like, he's been go 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 and he's exhausted.
Yeah. And because he's Batman, he comes back and he goes, "I haven't fucking patrolled it forever. I have to go on patrol. I have to be Batman. Gotham's probably gone into hell in a handbasket without me," because he doesn't fucking remember that the family exists or that other people might be doing shit, as he very quickly finds out.
And it's like, oh, but like, there's still a part of him that's so paranoid that something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, I like that Chip is playing into that, because we haven't really, like, writers will hint at it here and there, but in the modern era of like the last 10, 15 years, we haven't really seen true control freak Batman in a long time. Um, oh my god, I would be so into that, Tim. You have no idea. But we're Chip is slowly leaning more and more into that, and I feel like it's starting to come to a bit of a head here, where Selena comes and she proposes this idea that she's already got in motion, and honestly, it sounds very evocative of like the kind of shit Tumblr is always saying Batman should be doing. And he hears it and he's like, okay. Cool methods. It's still crime though. You're not punishing them enough. I don't like this.
To me, it was less that you're not punishing them enough. It's you could have taught them actual skills. You could have taught them how to enter the workforce and be members of society and not still be on the outside and always on the verge of being thrown into jail.
And Selena's going, but do you know how much harder that would have been than just teaching them not to be shitty at their jobs?
But that's I think what's Batman's big point is it's a half measure. It's not like actually tackling the problem. But he says it in the most closed off, emotionally stilted, I am in paranoia mode and I am exhausted mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And he's not able to articulate it well.
Because he's dealing with Selena. The last time he saw Selena, it was a weird alternate universe version of her, and that ended badly. And the last time he saw this Selena, they agreed not to talk to each other for a while because of how badly their attempt at getting married went.
And, like, that's another thing. She just throws that in his face and just immediately puts him on nerves. And then she's, like, mad that he didn't understand.
Yeah, and I love that the whole Bat family is there, and they're all literally saying what we're all thinking is just, oh god, it's so hard to watch mom and dad fight.
And, like, here's the thing. It's like, I understand what Catwoman's trying to do. She's trying to make the crime... It's literally, she says it. I want crime to be less violent. They, like... The world isn't kind, so them stealing to eat is fine. Steal from the people who can handle it. Steal from the rich. And Batman just points out...
Steal the rich, give to the poor.
My parents were rich. They're still... And I'm a person. I'm still a person. What they have is wrong, but stealing it doesn't fix the problem.
Yep.
And again, Batman's emotionally frayed right now and can't articulate it like that.
And he's been keeping everybody at an arm's length, so nobody really knows what side to take here, except for Jason, who just immediately sees, like, I'm gonna get out in front of this. I'm just gonna fucking go to Selena because it's me. We all know eventually I would have joined the antagonist side, so fucking let's just do this right now. And Selena's just like, God damn it, you are the last person I wanted to see today.
But you're useful. Here's the contact. Go through them. Also, Zur-En-Ah is just here going like, hey, I'm here, buddy.
Yep.
I'm just here, buddy. Go the fuck away. All right. Ta-da. Wait. Hold on. What the fuck are those eyes behind you? Oh, don't worry about them. No. It's not like I grabbed every other Batman Zur-En-Ah. They're all sitting in your head now.
I love that Chip has just made fucking with Zur-En-Ah as a way of fucking with regular Bruce the main crux of his run. Like, I'm gonna read this crossover. I was kind of groaning going into it. I'm interested now because I think they've laid out a very good premise here in this first issue. But I am more excited, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I am more excited to get to the Joker story that comes after that was announced last week that we know is going to see some of the Zur-En-Ah shit come to a head.
Oh, yeah. But there's also something interesting and fascinating behind Selena's ideology here, other than like, oh, steal from the rich because they can handle it, but it's also make it so these guys are not in the hands of the Joker, of Two-Face, and
Yeah,
it
she
limits
literally
their
says
destruction.
most of these people who you aren't even seeing on the street anymore because they don't have to be are just like they're the fucking generic Arkham goons from those games. They go in, they get back out in 6 months, and then they just go to a different gang than they were in before. Oh, I'm working for Two-Face this time. Oh, I'm working for the Penguin this time. Oh, I'm working for the Joker this time because he has dental. Like, who fucking cares?
Or like
It's all the same people
they
cycling
directly
in and
show
out.
that Maxi Zeus can only get one henchman for his thing this time.
Yeah, which, by the way, fucking Maxi Zeus. Oh, man. When's the last time you saw that guy? Good pull.
That's
Good pull.
a good Howard Zdarsky, whoever came up with Maxi Zeus, good job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things in this book. However, I have a feeling if you do not like Batman as a character and you do the whole, oh, he punches mental illness people and he's a billionaire and you do all that, you read this book, you are not giving Batman any credit. You are just going to hate him.
It's going to be interesting to see how people react to this story, because I think there's going to be people who aren't as media literate who will read it and just automatically be on Catwoman's side, and then there will be people like us. There will be smart people who read this book and go like, "Oh, this is a very nuanced and delicate topic, and I like that the writers are playing with this in a freaking Batman comic."
But it's also like it's a delicate, nuanced version of Batman. You know, honestly, I think you kind of need to read Zdarsky's Daredevil to understand his Batman.
It's an interesting take. I can see it, but I don't know if I fully agree.
Here's the thing. I think it's just mostly because he's playing with very similar themes and ideas. And having read the Daredevil run recently, and now going into the Batman run, you see these ideas paralleled, and you understand the differences he's taken with Batman.
I don't know if I agree that
you don't need to.
No.
It's
no,
a benefit.
Let me finish. I don't think you have to understand it, but I think you will appreciate it more if you've read his Daredevil.
Yeah. It's a benefit, not a necessity.
Yeah, you know, it's like the famous quote from the great poet of our time, George Lucas. It's like poetry, these two runs. Every stanza rhymes with the last.
Yeah. It's interesting. Though I can't help but wonder how their relationship is just gonna end up at the end of this.
Mm-hmm. Is he gonna do the Elektra thing? I fucking doubt it.
Oh no, but like, will Catwoman and Batman come to an understanding of each other and realize their love is more important?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Commissioner Montoya just going like, hey, Commissioner Gordon let you get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You need to actually help us, not just do all the fucking, not just be Batman. You need to actually like help engage with us.
Yeah, if you want to work with the police force, you got to be a member of the police force. Otherwise, fuck off.
Which I think is also just another, like, that's the point that Catwoman's kind of making. Is just like, it doesn't actually, the way you're trying to solve the problem doesn't actually solve the problem. You
want to just impose your will over Gotham, whereas I'm trying to change what it is from within.
And Batman's like, yes, that is understandable, but don't do it through. You're basically, what she's doing is like, hey, don't sell heroin, sell weed instead. It's much healthier.
Which, like, you're right. But that's still illegal in some states.
It's missing the forest for the trees. It's just like, yeah, it's less harmful. Yes, it's less violent. Yes, less people are getting hurt. Yes, all these good points you're making. But crime is still being committed.
I can even build on this because I have direct experience with modern drug culture now. Like, yes, weed is generally okay if you don't do anything else and you're not going to form a habit with it, if you're using it medicinally, or even if you're just using it casually. But if you've been addicted to harder drugs, if you've been addicted to meth or shrooms or anything like that, weed is going to lead you right back down that path. If you are in recovery, don't fucking touch weed, no matter what anybody else says, because it will just start those paths in your brain up again.
There's a lot of little things, and you understand both. And here's the interesting thing: you're sympathetic and you understand Catwoman, but you don't think it's the right thing. But we know Batman's right, but he says it all in the wrong way, and you don't like the way he says it. It's interesting.
Good book.
Good book, and that's the last book we talked about. We both read. We didn't do a ton of books this week.
Yeah, it's a very light week overall. You know, we don't always have a lot to say about Avengers. Not a lot happened in the news this week aside from Todd just barfing all over the Twitter feeds like he always does. And only a few books came out this week that interested me. So
yeah,
let's hope it's not the exact opposite next week.
In the meantime, hey, tell the people where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm sometimes proud of. I've got a new video coming out later this week. Going to be taking a look at the 2013 hit Pacific Rim, and you'll want to check that out. So head over to youtube.com/thevacuuminator and subscribe to the channel. Also, check me out on all the various social media platforms. I got a TikTok where I post clips of my older videos. That's at the _vacuuminator, the _vacuuminator. That's what the @ sign is. That @ sign is also valid on Instagram, where you can find my daily action figure photography. And I am on Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. Just reblogging, sharing my content, and any other cool stuff that comes across my feed. And I'm on Blue Sky, just kind of hanging out, just kind of vibing there, really. It's interesting. I'm not as active as I am on social media ever since I stopped using Twitter. It's almost like that site was a brain worm or something.
And here's the thing: you engage with Blue Sky, it's fun.
Yeah, but it's not like a constant. You got to check it. It's just you get on Blue Sky, you say your thing, you look at a couple other people's things, and you're out in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So at thevacuuminator.bsky.social, check it out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Boingo Writer. I do a variety of things on the internet. Hey, twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. I stream there somewhat. YouTube at Boingo Writer. I do weekly reviews of Common Writer. Gateway to Geeks is finished. Now it's time to gather up, get charred.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a variety of social media platforms: Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. I'm on Mastodon at Boingo_Writer at VT.social. And I am on Blue Sky at Boingo. Is it Boingo underscore or Boingo regular? Can't remember.
I think it's just at Boingo Writer, all one word.
Yeah. At BoingoWriter.bsky.social, because they don't have underscores on Blue Sky. You're not allowed to have that in your tag. I'm also on Tumblr. You can find me there, Boingo Writer. So yeah. This has been Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, where we talk comics, movies, merchandise, and more. But we have other podcasts, such as Components, where we just fuck around, find out, hang around, talking some shit.
There's guests sometimes.
Yeah. We also have Analytical Fanboys, a monthly media cast where one member picks a piece of media, forces the other members to watch it, and then we talk about it. This upcoming episode this week is Witch from Mercury, Gundam. So
I think it was our best episode in a long time. I think people are really going to enjoy that one. I think we're going to get a lot of comments.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, but you are having a layer of sarcasm that the audience doesn't understand yet.
Subscribe, turn on the notifications, be here Friday. That's all I'm saying.
We also have Twit this week in Tokusatsu, where Vec and the Venerable Buster will talk about that week in Tokusatsu. Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, any other jack shit that comes up, indie stuff. I don't think there's any other Tokusatsu we need to mention for that, so
Yeah, but it's gonna be a big week this week. We got the premiere of Gachard, we got the King Oger time skip, the second part of a Blazer two-parter, and new Godzilla -1 trailer drops tomorrow.
Ooh. Have you guys thought about doing Precure on that show, or at least mentioning it?
I
Because
think
it's
we've mentioned it a couple times, but I literally have never had any interest in Precure personally.
because it has an association with Super Sentai and Kamen Rider because they're on the same block.
Yeah, it's part of the superhero time block. It's a Toei show, but it's doesn't hold my interest. I get why other people would be into it, but it's not for me.
But there's also another podcast. Tell the people about Saturday morning panels.
Saturday Morning Panels is the once monthly podcast where myself and Snowcone83 discuss the two biggest news stories in the last month from the worlds of G.I. Joe and the Transformers. We also take a look at a issue or two of the classic Marvel comic books and discuss some of our most recent pickups from those toy lines.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you want to see this podcast and many more, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and ring the notification bell. Help us out, support us, support Modular Media. Because without you, there are no modularity. There's
What?
no media. I was trying to
What?
I was trying to come up with a cute tagline.
We got to workshop that one. We got to get a focus
Yeah.
group in here.
Without the audience, we're just media. I don't know. In fact, do you
Enough
have
said.
anything else that you want to say?
Oh, damn, I tried to do it to you. Everybody thinks Vision is Jarvis and you can't do anything about it.
Enough said.